Hey guys, it's April Oakfall here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how I do the special effects in my videos, such as the first elemental scene from the first episode of Burnout, as you can see here in the background. It's really simple, so let's just get straight into it. I start off by filming the scenes in Star Stable. I normally have an actor or actress for me who acts out the character so that I can get a third person point of view rather than the point of view of my character. I then import these into a program called Adobe After Effects, and as you can see there are a lot more of them than I actually put into the final episode. So I have to normally sort through these, find the clip that I like, one that doesn't have any mistakes, before putting it into the editor. So as you can see here, I'm figuring out which scenes I like best before putting them in and putting them one after the other. I have to zoom them in to make sure that I crop off the interface. I usually push my character against a tree and angle it so that you can't see my character to give a full screen look. So once I'm happy with how all the scenes look and how well they follow each other, I go to this fabulous little website called productioncrate.com. I find the visual effects or VFX under their footage crate, and these are saved as PNGs or like no background videos as such, so they're actually really easy to just layer onto my current video. So I searched through the ones here. You can see me looking through the different eyes powers of this character, and once I find the one I liked, I downloaded it for the video. This site has a lot of awesome free resources, but to access the wider range of resources you have to pay a subscription fee annually. Once I have done this, I import them into the project file and adjust them so that they look like they're coming from the character or in the scene. They literally just layer straight on because they have a transparent background, so it's actually really simple. Once I am happy with the outcome, I export it from the program and put it into another editor called Filmora Wondershare, in which I will color correct it and add sound effects to make for an epic chase scene. Here is the final result. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll pass you on to Isabella Snowweb.
Hey guys, it's Isabella Snowweb, aka Star Stable Updates, and today I'll be explaining to you how I do my zoom in transitions in my videos, as well as some other transitions as well. Of course, if you watch my videos, you know that when I switch from the intro to the actual video and from the actual video back to the outro, I use a zoom transition, and over here I have two clips in Sony Vegas Pro 14, which is the program I use to edit my videos, and I'm going to use these two clips to show you how to make a transition. So I'm gonna let this clip over here transition into this one. So what you need to do is you go to Video FX over here next to Transitions, Explorer, Project Media, you go to Video FX. Now in order to do these transitions, you do need a plugin, and the plugin I use to do my transitions is Sapphire. Unfortunately, Sapphire is not for free, but I do believe it is available for multiple editing programs, so not only Sony Vegas. Anyway, I'm gonna scroll down in my video effects little window all the way till I see all the stuff with S underscore in front of it. You're gonna go to S underscore blur mode curves, and I have these settings over here already. Normally you only have the default. I'm gonna show you my settings. So you wanna put the warp X and the warp Y on reflect and the blur rest on full. All the rest doesn't really matter. I would keep this, the last four thingies, I would keep that normal, and these upper four are for your transitions. So if you wish to do a zoom in, you go to Z dist. You click on this over here, which is the animate button, and then you have this bar down here. Now you want to go all the way to the end of the clip. That is 5 seconds over here. But if you're going to go all the way to the end of the clip, if you press this, you're going to see that it goes from this clip to that clip. So you want to go one back, so you're still in this clip, and add a keyframe. Now the next part you can decide for yourself. Do whatever looks best to you. I usually like to go back 6 or 7 keyframes. Over here, I'm first going to try the 23 one. So you want to add another keyframe, right click on the keyframe and click on slow fade. Then go back to the last keyframe and go into these settings over here. You want to make this 0,700 for it to zoom in, as you can see. If you want to make a zoom out transition, all you have to do is make this 1,400 and then it'll zoom out. However, today I'm going to make a zoom in transition as well as a rotate transition and a shift X and a shift Y transition to one side. You can always switch around the two settings and then you will have the opposite effect. So right now we're doing the zoom in. If you would switch around the settings, you would have a zoom out. And this is it for your first clip. If you want to do a zoom in transition, you're going to grab the exact same settings. So for me, that's reflect. You can name the setting whatever you want. And I'm going to drag it onto the second clip. For the second clip, you also want to go ahead and animate the Z dist. Again, you can choose this. I'm going to go 6 keyframes in. There we go. And then normally you should have something like this. You go back to the first keyframe, you right click and press fast fade. You go back into these settings, make this 1,400, and then normally you should have a perfect zoom in transition. I'm going to pre-render this and show you how smooth it looks. There you go, it looks pretty smooth, am I right? Remember, if you want to, you could always place the keyframe a little bit more far back for the transition to be slower, or even closer to the other one for it to be faster. You can totally switch that up. And also, like I said, if you want a zoom out transition, just make this one 1,400 and the one on the other one 0,700. Moving on to the next transition, which is the rotate transition. I took off the effect from both clips and I'm just going to reapply it right now. So I'm going to drag my reflect thingy onto the first clip and I'm going to press animate right next to rotate. You want to do the same exact thing, so add a keyframe, not at the last point in the clip, but one back. Again, you can choose how many keyframes you put in between. I'm going to do 7 this time. The first keyframe has to be on slow fade, and then the last one, you're going to go here and edit either 75, which makes it turn around, to the left side, as you can see over here in the preview. And if you want it to go to the right side, you just put a minus right in front of that number, and then it'll go to the right side. I'm going to let it transition to the left, so I just put 75 over here. You're going to go ahead and put reflect on the other clip too, and do the exact same thing as with the Z dist. You leave a few keyframes in between. I did 7. The first keyframe has to be on fast fade, and then over here you're going to change it to the opposite, so minus 75 for this clip, and then this is your rotate transition. I agree it's quite fast. You can always switch up the keyframes, like I said, to make it go slower or faster if that is what you want. But yeah, this is a rotate transition. Next Next up, the Shift X transition, which is basically the same thing, just with different numbers. So again, the reflect thingy from Blur Mo curves on both clips, and you're going to go ahead and animate the Shift X. Same thing, you want to put some keyframes in there, and not at the last point, but one back. And again, I'm going to leave 7 in between. The first one has to be on slow fade, and then you're going to stand on the last one and change the Shift X to minus, comma, 250, which will make it go to the right. Again, if you want the opposite, just remove the minus and it'll go to the left. I like to do my transitions to the right though, so I'm gonna start with minus 250, and on the other clip, we're gonna do plus 250, which is basically the same number without the minus. So I'm gonna copy that already so I can just very easily paste it. Like I said, I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other clip, so I'm gonna leave 7 keyframes in between. The first one has to be on fast fade, and the first one as well is going to be 250, and then this is your transition. Again, if you want it the other way around, you just have to switch around the numbers. And then this is your transition. Also, please remember that it'll look a lot smoother after rendering, so this is not the final product. And then now for the last transition, which is the Shift Y one. It is literally the same thing as the Shift X one, it just goes in a different direction. So I'm gonna add the keyframes like I did with the previous few clips. And for Shift Y, you wanna stand on this one, and here you can choose. If you do minus, it goes up. If you do plus, it goes down. I always make it go down just because I think it's more satisfying. So over here we have plus 250. Then you go on the other clip and you do the exact same thing as with the other ones. So add the keyframes and go over here and make this minus, comma, 250. So then you'll have a transition that goes down, as you can see. And if you want the opposite, again, just change this number over here to minus 250 and the other to plus 250, and then you have the opposite of the original transition. And here you go, this is the opposite. Now there is one other transition that is actually available in Sony Vegas. You don't need a plugin for this, that I also use in my videos, and that is Sony Vegas Pro Dissolve. All you have to do to use this is make your clips fade into one another. It doesn't matter how many seconds there is in between the fading, and then you grab the default setting and put it onto the fading. So then you'll have something that looks like this. Another effect I frequently use in my videos is the blur tool, also from Sapphire in Video FX. So I have the Goody Blur, which I always use, and these are my settings over here. You can just take a screenshot and then take these settings from me. You don't have to. This over here is the blur amount. You can always make it a lot worse. I usually just keep it on 9 because it's soft and nice and you can still see the background. And this is how I blurred the pictures in my intro. Lastly, in case you're wondering how I make my clips shake in my intro, I have a setting for that under S_shake, which is again something in Video FX from Sapphire, and I have this setting over here which I just drag onto my clips, and these are the settings in case you want to take them from me. Just take a screenshot, and then this is what my clips look like. They kind of shake around, which I think is a really nice effect. And with that being said, those are all of the effects I wanted to show you today. I really hope this video was helpful to you, and I really hope you can use this in the future yourself, because these transitions and animations are really cool and I absolutely adore them. Anyway, I hope this video helped. If it did, please let me know through Instagram or in the comments below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys back in SSO. See you in a minute. Bye!